Ladies and gentlemen, there is a quiet kind of power in this world, a power that doesn't scream for attention, doesn't rush the process, and doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. That power is silence. You see, we live in a time where noise is everywhere. Everyone wants to speak. Everyone wants to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. But have you ever wondered what happens when you simply stop? And stay silent, when you stop chasing things that are not meant for you, when you stop explaining yourself to people who are not willing to understand, when you stop forcing your journey to look like someone else's. That is when something beautiful begins. That is when the universe leans in and says, "Now you're ready." Because silence is not the absence of action, it's the foundation of it. In silence, you meet yourself. You learn to trust your timing. You learn to trust that what's meant for you won't need to be begged for, fought for, or screamed for. It will arrive on its own time, in its own way, and with a calmness that says, "I was always yours." Stay silent, and you will hear what the noise tries to cover, the quiet whisper of your inner strength, the voice of your intuition, and the rhythm of your own path. Yes, be patient with the world, but more importantly, be patient with yourself. There is no race, no competition, no deadline for becoming who you were born to be. So let the world rush you, you stay still, let others shout you, you listen, let the storms pass you, you stay grounded. Because in that silence, everything you've been waiting for will begin to find you naturally, effortlessly, peacefully. You don't have to chase what's already yours. Just wait in grace and receive it. Thank you. Would you like this adapted for video narration or a written post as well? In quietness, not in noise or constant expression. Stop chasing, start trusting. What is meant for you will come naturally. You don't need to force or chase it. Discovery in stillness. Silence allows you to reconnect with yourself, hear your intuition, and find clarity. Patience over pressure. There's no rush to become who you're meant to be. Everyone has their own timing. Let the world rush, you stay grounded, while others hurry and shout, your peace and presence will guide you further. Graceful waiting brings true rewards. The right things will arrive effortlessly when you wait with faith and grace. Would you like these points turned into visual slides or social media captions? In a world that constantly demands attention, approval, and reaction, silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, as passivity, as a sign of uncertainty. But those who have walked through life's deepest struggles know something different. They understand that silence can be the loudest response, the strongest statement, and the most dignified resistance. It is in silence that true strength is born, not the kind that needs applause or recognition, but the kind that roots itself deep within your soul. Staying silent does not mean you are powerless. In fact, it often means you are in control. It means you have chosen not to waste your energy where it will not be valued. You have chosen to protect your peace instead of fighting battles that don't deserve your presence. You don't argue with ignorance. You don't respond to disrespect. You don't react to provocation. Not because you cannot, but because you understand your energy is sacred. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who does not feel the need to explain themselves to the world. In silence, you stop performing, you stop proving, you stop trying to fit into the boxes others build for you. You start listening to your own voice, to your own truth, to your own calling. And in doing so, you gain something most people lose in the noise: clarity. The strongest people are not the ones who shout the loudest or fight the hardest. They are the ones who know when to speak and when to stay silent. They are the ones who don't need to announce their strength, because it shows in how they carry themselves, in the calmness in their eyes, in the patience in their voice, in the way they choose peace over pride. That is not weakness, that is power. Silence gives you the space to reflect, to heal, and to rise. It is the quiet moment before transformation begins. It is the breath you take before stepping into a new chapter. It is the pause that reminds you, you don't have to react to everything. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to win every argument or prove every point. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to say nothing, and let the silence speak for you. Think about nature. The seed grows in silence. The sun rises in silence. Healing happens in silence. It's not loud, it's not rushed, and yet it's unstoppable. In the same way, your strength grows when you stop reacting to everything around you. You begin to conserve your energy for what truly matters. You begin to move with intention rather than impulse. You begin to embody a quiet confidence that no one can shake. People may misunderstand your silence. They may see it as fear or weakness. Let them. Your life is not their business, and your path is not their concern. What they don't see is the inner storm you've calmed, the chaos you've tamed, the battles you've fought in private. They don't hear the conversations you've had with yourself at 2 a.m. when no one else was listening. They don't feel the discipline it takes to stay calm when everything in you wants to react. That is strength. That is power. So if you find yourself in a season where you're staying silent, where you've chosen to stop explaining and start protecting your peace, don't feel guilty, don't feel weak, stand in your quiet power. Let your silence be your statement, because everything that is truly meant for you will never need to be forced. It will come, naturally, in its own time, and when it does, you'll realize that the silence was never empty. It was preparing you for everything you were waiting for. We often grow up believing that the harder we chase something, the closer it gets, that if we run fast enough, push hard enough, and never stop, then everything we desire will eventually be ours. But life in its quiet wisdom has a different way of teaching us. Sometimes the more you chase something, the more it runs from you. The more you cling to what isn't ready, the more it slips through your fingers. There comes a moment when you realize that not everything is meant to be pursued with force. Some things, especially the things that truly matter, must come to you naturally, in their own time and in their own way. Letting go of the need to control everything is not easy. It takes courage to step back, to stop chasing, and to start trusting, but there is deep freedom in that choice. You begin to understand that if something is truly meant for you, it will not require you to constantly exhaust yourself to keep it. It will feel right, not rushed. It will flow with ease, not struggle. It won't require you to lose your peace, your values, or your sense of self just to make it stay. So many people run tirelessly after things, relationships, careers, approval, success, believing that without them they are incomplete. But what if the very thing you're running after is not meant for who you are now, but for who you are becoming? And what if your growth, your maturity, and your healing are the keys to receiving it? Sometimes life delays what you want not to punish you, but to prepare you. It holds things back not out of cruelty, but out of love. It wants you to be ready, not desperate. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. You shift from a place of scarcity to a place of confidence. You no longer need to beg for love, opportunities, or recognition. You become so grounded in your own worth that what aligns with your spirit naturally finds its way to you, and what doesn't, it fades. Not because you weren't good enough, but because it wasn't meant to walk with you. Trusting the timing of your life is an act of deep faith. It means surrendering the illusion of control and understanding that what is truly yours cannot be stolen. You stop comparing your path to others. You stop trying to force doors open. You stop trying to convince people to see your value. Instead, you focus on becoming the kind of person who is ready to receive what they've been hoping for. And yes, it's hard to wait. It's hard to see others move ahead while you feel stuck. It's hard to stay still when everything in you wants to do more, prove more, be more. But patience is not passivity. It is power. It is knowing that rushing something beautiful will only ruin it. It is understanding that peace is not found in the outcome, but in the process. You don't have to chase what already belongs to you. You don't have to force what's written in your story. What's meant for you will come, not when you're frantic, but when you're faithful, not when you're demanding, but when you're deserving, and that moment when it comes will be worth every second of your wait. So rest, grow, heal, prepare, focus on who you are becoming, not just what you are chasing, because one day you will look back and realize that everything fell into place, not because you ran after it, but because you became the person it was always meant to meet. And that, in itself, is the most natural and powerful thing you can do. In the quiet moments of life, when the noise fades and the world seems to pause, something powerful happens. You meet yourself. Silence, often seen as emptiness or absence, is in fact a space full of potential. It's in that space where self-discovery begins. While the world encourages constant movement, endless talking, and tireless striving, silence invites you to stop, listen, and reflect. And in that reflection, you begin to uncover the layers of your own being, the parts of you that get drowned out by the demands of daily life. When you allow yourself to be silent, you open the door to your own voice, the one that gets buried beneath the opinions of others. You hear your true thoughts, not the ones shaped by society, but the ones born from your soul. In that stillness, your intuition grows louder. That inner compass, so often ignored, starts pointing you toward what feels right, not just what looks right. You begin to realize that much of what you chased wasn't what you truly wanted. It was what you were told to want. In silence, you come face to face with your fears, your wounds, your doubts. It's uncomfortable at first. Most people run from that stillness because it feels too raw, too honest. But if you stay long enough, you find something deeper. Strength, the strength to admit what you feel, the strength to let go of what no longer serves you, the strength to dream again without the fear of judgment. You begin to understand that self-discovery isn't about becoming someone new, but about uncovering who you've always been beneath the noise. This journey inward is not loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't need an audience. It happens quietly, often unnoticed by the world, but the changes it brings are profound. You stop needing external validation because your worth no longer depends on someone else's opinion. You no longer need to compete, to impress, or to prove anything. You begin to move from a place of inner peace, knowing who you are and what you stand for. Listening to yourself, really listening, is one of the most powerful things you can do. You learn to trust your gut when something doesn't feel right. You learn to walk away from what drains you, even if it once felt familiar. You learn to say no without guilt and yes without fear. Your choices become more aligned with your values, not with pressure. That's the gift of silence. It gives you back your voice, and when you know yourself, you stop fearing solitude. Being alone no longer feels like loneliness. It feels like home. You enjoy your own company, your own thoughts, your own rhythm. You realize that you don't need noise to feel alive. You need purpose, and purpose is something you discover in the quiet. When you finally hear the questions your heart has been asking all along. What do I want? What brings me peace? What do I need to let go of? In a world full of distraction, silence is your return to self. It's where clarity is born. It's where healing begins. It's where you find the courage to live truthfully, even if it means walking a different path. And as you become more in tune with who you are, you start attracting what truly aligns with you, not what looks good on the surface, but what feels right in your soul. So take the time to be silent, to be still, to simply be, because when you stop trying to be who the world expects, you finally become who you were meant to be, and that version of you, the one born in silence, is the most powerful of all. There is an invisible pressure that so many people carry, the pressure to be successful by a certain age, to achieve certain milestones, to keep up with others, to be there already. It feels as if life is a race and everyone is running ahead while you're somehow falling behind. This pressure can be exhausting. It can make you feel like no matter what you do, it's not enough. But the truth is, there is no universal deadline for becoming who you're meant to be. Life is not a competition, and your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. Patience is a quiet strength. It's not simply about waiting, it's about how you wait and who you become in the process. When you learn to be patient with yourself, you begin to realize that growth takes time. Real change doesn't happen overnight. Healing takes time, learning takes time, becoming takes time. You are not late. You are right on time for your path. Everyone blooms at a different pace. Some people find their purpose early, others much later. Some people build fast, others build deep. Both are valid, both are beautiful. When you're constantly focused on where you think you should be, you miss the value of where you are. You overlook the lessons that this season is trying to teach you. Maybe you haven't reached your destination yet because you still need to learn something essential before getting there. Maybe what feels like a delay is actually divine timing, aligning circumstances, preparing opportunities, or building your character so that when the right moment arrives, you'll be ready to handle it with wisdom, not fear. Being patient with yourself also means giving yourself grace. It means understanding that setbacks don't make you a failure, that slowing down doesn't mean you've given up. It means accepting that you are human, not a machine, and your worth is not defined by how fast you move or how much you achieve. Rest is not laziness. Reflection is not wasting time. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to pause, breathe, and simply be present. There is a certain beauty in slow progress. It gives you time to build strong roots. It allows you to be intentional rather than reactive. It helps you focus on quality over speed, and most importantly, it teaches you endurance, the kind of resilience that doesn't fade under pressure. The journey becomes more meaningful when you're not rushing through it, but actually living it moment by moment. Comparison is one of the biggest thieves of patience. When you look around and see others seemingly ahead of you, it's easy to doubt yourself. But you don't know their full story. You don't know what sacrifices they made, what they lost, or what silent struggles they carry. Their path is not yours. Your journey is uniquely designed for you with its own timing, its own lessons, and its own reward. The sooner you embrace that truth, the more peace you'll find. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should. The delay is not the end. The detour is not a mistake. Every moment of waiting is shaping you into the person who is ready to receive what you're working toward. You may not see the results yet, but the process is working. You are growing, you are evolving, you are becoming, so take your time, be gentle with yourself. Let go of the timelines, the comparisons, and the pressure. You are not behind, you are becoming, and the person you are becoming is worth the wait. In a fast, paced world where everyone is rushing to achieve, to prove, to be seen, it takes great inner strength to remain grounded. When everyone is speaking loudly, trying to be heard, trying to outshine one another, choosing stillness can feel like rebellion. Yet it is in that stillness, in that grounded presence, that real power lies. You don't need to follow the crowd. You don't need to compete with the noise. When the world rushes, you can choose to stay calm, centered, and fully present in your own pace. Remaining grounded doesn't mean being passive. It means you're not shaken by every external storm. It means you've built such a strong foundation within yourself that the chaos around you doesn't control your emotions, decisions, or direction. You're not reactive to every challenge, nor are you thrown off course by other people's opinions or expectations. Instead, you move with quiet intention, knowing that your path is valid, even if it's different from everyone else's. In life, there will always be pressure to speed up. There will always be someone doing more, getting more, achieving more, at least on the surface. But success without peace is not success at all. What good is reaching the finish line if you're completely disconnected from yourself when you get there? True fulfillment comes when you move in alignment with your values, your truth, and your purpose, not when you try to match someone else's pace. There is wisdom in slowing down. It gives you the clarity to see what really matters. It allows you to be intentional with your time, your energy, and your attention. While others are busy chasing every opportunity, you learn to choose wisely. You focus not just on progress, but on meaningful progress. You don't just take action. You take aligned action, that difference changes everything, being grounded also means being present. When you're not constantly thinking about the next step or worrying about the future, you're able to fully experience the moment you're in. You can appreciate the small wins, the quiet beauty, the lessons disguised in ordinary days. Presence is a gift, and it's often missed when we're too busy rushing toward what's next. There will be moments when you're tempted to speed up, to catch up, to prove something. But it's in those moments that grounding yourself becomes most important. Ask yourself, am I moving because it feels right or because I feel pressured? Am I acting out of peace or panic? When your actions are rooted in inner calm, the results are often more authentic, more lasting, and more fulfilling. You are not in a race. Life is not a competition. You are allowed to move at your own pace. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to walk slowly, breathe deeply, and trust the unfolding. The right things will never require you to lose your center. They will meet you where you are, not demand that you rush to reach them. So let others rush. Let them speak loudly, move fast, and seek validation. You stay grounded, stay focused, stay at peace, because in the end, it's not about how fast you get there. It's about who you become along the way. And when you move with calm confidence and deep presence, you don't just arrive at your destination. You arrive whole. You arrive with your soul intact, your heart steady, and your spirit unshaken, and that is something rushing can never give you. There is a quiet kind of waiting that doesn't feel like waiting at all. It is filled with grace, with peace, and with deep trust. It's the kind of waiting that doesn't drain you. It prepares you. In life, we are taught to chase, to strive, to constantly move toward what we want. But there comes a time when you realize that the most beautiful things, those that truly belong to you, do not arrive through pressure or desperation. They come gently, naturally, and often when you least expect them. Waiting with grace is not about doing nothing. It's about doing the inner work, staying open, and allowing life to unfold in its own perfect timing. When you wait with grace, you release the need to force outcomes. You no longer try to manipulate circumstances or control every step of the journey. Instead, you accept what is and trust in what is to come. You understand that some of the most meaningful moments in life happen not because you chased them, but because you allowed them the space to find you. And in that space you grow. You gain strength, resilience, patience, and clarity. This kind of waiting is powerful. It teaches you that your worth is not tied to how fast you succeed or how quickly your desires are met. You don't rush into relationships that aren't right or settle for opportunities that don't align with your values just to avoid the discomfort of the unknown. Instead, you learn to sit with that discomfort. You learn to trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and what passes you by was never truly meant for you. There's a kind of dignity in waiting without bitterness. You're not angry at the world for its timing. You're not envious of those who seem to have everything figured out. You're not impatient with yourself for not being further along. You give yourself grace, just as you give it to others. You recognize that life moves in seasons, and your season will come. And when it does, it will arrive with ease, not struggle, with peace, not pressure. Often we think we are ready for something simply because we want it, but desire alone does not make us ready. Sometimes the waiting period is where the most important preparation happens. You learn lessons that shape you. You shed parts of yourself that no longer serve you. You strengthen the parts of you that will be needed when the moment finally comes. Graceful waiting is trusting this process. It's understanding that nothing truly meant for you will arrive before you're ready to carry it well. And when the right things do arrive, whether it's love, purpose, opportunity, or healing, you'll know. You'll recognize it not because you forced it to happen, but because you were ready to receive it. You'll carry it with humility, with gratitude, and with a quiet knowing that it came to you not because you chased it, but because you made space for it. You will look back and see that everything made sense, that the timing, the detours, the delays, all of it was working for your good. So be patient with life, trust in its wisdom, let go of the pressure to make things happen before their time. Prepare your heart, nurture your spirit, and walk forward with faith. The most beautiful blessings often come not with noise and drama, but with quiet certainty. They come when you are aligned, not anxious. When you are ready, not restless, and in that moment you will understand the weight was never empty. It was grace shaping you for everything you were always meant to have.